Well, we got a 1-0 game on Saturday. Juan Soto hit 2 out in the Bronx, and Seth Lugo won again for the Kansas City Royals. Welcome in, everyone. Steve Lennox on Baseball live stream podcast, and this is sort of on the fly. Want to sleep in Sunday morning, right? So I figured, okay, I'm going to do this late Saturday night, early Saturday morning on the East Coast where I live. And I used to host mostly on weekends as a fill-in guy, Sports Center All Night on ESPN Radio. Most times we would go live at 1 a.m. Eastern. And I scheduled this originally for 12:50 a.m. Eastern Time Sunday morning. Dodgers made me change that. Said, you know what? I'm not waiting up another hour and a half. Dodgers won 4-0. We'll recap that one in just a few minutes. But I figured let's move it up an hour. So that's what we're doing. And it's a lot to say here as we recap day number 52 of the Major League Baseball regular season. First, we do this for a first time. We got a couple of firsts here on this episode of the Lennox on Baseball live stream podcast. We're going to open up with our segment, That's Baseball, and we're actually going to open up with a game recap. I feel like I'm jittery tonight. I'm coming here, talking to a handful of people, recording this, continuing to do it, try to do it day in, day out. That's baseball. That's what I have told future employers, past employers, people over the years. I just love the day in, day out of baseball. So we open with That's Baseball here. Lanny Fertari, longtime announcer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Early on in my minor league broadcasting days, Lanny told me, be careful about using the word unbelievable. And he said, think to yourself, how many things have you actually seen that were unbelievable? And once they happen, they become believable because now they've happened. You have a track record of it. With that said, what transpired Saturday night in Arlington, Texas, present day baseball, you want to scratch your head, you want to bang your head on the wall. But what happened between the Angels and Rangers, absolutely 100% believable when you stop and think about it. Extra innings, and the word futility comes to mind. You can think of other words, but futility comes to mind. How in the world do you do this? Angels, Rangers failed to score, even with the ghost runner at second to open up the 10th inning. Neither team scored in the 10th. Neither team scored in the 11th. Neither team scored in the 12th inning. The winning run finally comes across in the bottom half of the 13th inning. Nathaniel Lowe hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, ball game over. Rangers, I don't even think they should have been allowed to celebrate. Ron Washington on the other side should have said, you know what? I manage this team right now. I'm used to manage that club over there. Nobody gets to celebrate this, right? 3 straight innings. Each team, 3 opportunities to get a runner in from second with less than 2 outs, and they failed to do so. This is day 52 of the Major League Baseball regular season. I don't think we see this again. I don't know what the longest game in terms of innings has been in terms of extra inning games this year. I can look it up. Maybe I'll have it Sunday. Maybe I'll have it next week. Maybe I won't even care about it after I'm done with this. But Nathaniel Lowe hit by a pitch, bases loaded, ball game over, 3-2. I really only paid attention to this game through the play-by-play and the box score. Didn't watch it, didn't listen to either one of the radio broadcasts on Sirius XM. But both teams had opportunities and didn't score in the 10th, in the 11th, in the 12th. Angels didn't score in the top of the 13th inning. And the winning run scores on a hit by pitch with the bases loaded. You can't make it up. But present day, yeah, the conclusion, that's baseball. That's the recap of that game, by the way. I really don't want to think about the Angels or the Rangers for a while. We continue. Recapping day number 52, the Major League Baseball regular season. I will have another note, and it's not a good one on the Angels and Rangers. I'll have another note on that one as well. This is the game that I intended to open up with because, again, futility. Again, there's a team right now whose closer isn't getting the job done in save situations or non-save situations. We're talking about the Mets and Marlins. Marlins now up 2-0 in that series. And you sort of open up by saying, you gotta bleeping be kidding me, right? You gotta bleeping be kidding me in this situation. Sponsor pending for this segment, by the way. Mets, 2 runs in the 9th inning, go up 9-5. Edwin Diaz is warming up the bullpen. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez on SNY. Well, if they score and it's a non-safe situation, you bring them in. Adam Ottavino, I think, threw 8 pitches in the bottom of the 8th inning. 6 to 8 pitches, somewhere in there. He easily could have gone out and pitched the bottom of the 9th inning. You don't have him for Sunday? Okay. But then you'd have Diaz for Sunday. Not in a 2-inning situation, but, opportunity to close it out. Close it out. Diaz didn't close it out. Didn't close it out at all. And I don't want to hear, well, he wasn't in a high leverage situation. He doesn't know how to go. Go in there and throw strikes, get outs. Edwin Diaz might be throwing strikes, but they're getting hit. And the exit velocity, impressive on some of those strikes that he's throwing with what used to be an impressive fastball and an impressive slider. Slider's not doing enough. Fastball doesn't have enough length or run to it. Marlins tied it up 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, ended up walking it off in the bottom of the 10th inning, beat the Mets in comeback fashion 10-9. Otto Lopez, the hero, game-winning hit in the bottom of the 10th inning. That for reliever Jorge Lopez. But Edwin Diaz just not getting the job done as Mets closer right now. You can come up with all sorts of different reasons for it, but he just has not looked right. In fact, back in the ballpark where he suffered that injury during the World Baseball Classic, and I cringe at that because I do love the WBC. I was part of it many, many years ago with the inaugural World Baseball Classic, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it that not only did you lose him for the season a year ago, but he's not right. He's just not. So, again, you can come up for different reasons why it's not working out for Edwin Diaz. But what happened in Miami for the Mets on Saturday, when you're scuffling and you have a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 9th inning, you've got to pick up that victory. Your team's put up 9 runs. Your team's scuffled offensively. They've looked putrid at times. And you can't pick up the victory in that situation. In the night, Jazz Chisholm knocked in a run with a single. Josh Bell then tied it against Diaz with a 3-run home run. That was a big swing in that inning, a 3-run home run by Bell, and his 6th of the season. Not a blown save for Edwin Diaz. Doesn't really matter. Entered with a 4-run lead, got just 1 batter out and facing 5 in that disastrous bottom of the 9th inning in Miami for the Mets, and it turned into more of a disaster with the Miami Marlins walking off in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Marlins are going to look for the series sweep. This might be the longest I've gone on a game recap ever, but that one just stood out for me. Hard to believe the Marlins getting to 500 after the bad start that they got off to March, April, and into May, but be warned. They are going to play ugly baseball on occasion, but they're also going to be a real pain in the neck for opponents, whether it's May, June, July, August, September. They're just going to be a pain in the neck. I don't know that they get to 500. I do believe the Astros, and I've touched on the Astros recently about getting to 500. I don't know that the Marlins do. Of the Marlins, Rockies, and White Sox, if I had to pick one, I'd pick Miami of those 3. But I just don't know that they get there. Love the 1-0 games. You know that about me. We had one of those at Wrigley Field on Saturday. Cubs, RBI single from Christopher Morel. I'm really liking him. That came in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs beat the Pirates 1-0. Shota Imanaga, terrific. So was Pirates starter Bailey Falter. Both starters working scoreless outings, both taking no decisions. Falter, 7 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, a couple of walks, 2 strikeouts through 83 pitches, 55 for strikes. Imanaga on the other side for the Cubs, 7 scoreless, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 7 Ks. 88 pitches for Shota Imanaga. 88 pitches and 68 strikes. Cubs hitters striking out a whole bunch, just 3 times against Falter, and 2 relievers for the Pirates as well in that one. So the Cubs pick up the 1-0 victory at Wrigley. The Pirates still up 2-1 in that series. That wraps up in Chicago on Sunday. What a storyline. This was the last game of the night. Final out in L.A. Schedule wrapped up for Saturday, day 52 of the Major League Baseball regular season. The storyline, simply Walker Buehler. Buehler, 6 innings of shutout baseball against the Reds. 3 relievers, each working a scoreless inning. Dodgers, Buehler, 3 relievers, 4-0 victory against Cincinnati. Buehler, first win since May of 2022, gave up 3 hits, walked no one, struck out 7, 78 pitches, 55 for strikes. Freddie Freeman, 2-hit game, RBI single for Freeman, that in the 5th inning. He also scored 2 runs as well. Top 3 hitters in the Guardians lineup, Tyler Freeman, Andres Jimenez, and Jose Ramirez combining for 10 hits, 3 extra base hits, 8 runs batted in, and 5 runs scored in what turned out to be an 11-4 victory for the Guardians at home against the Twins on Saturday. Ramirez, 2-run home run in the first, 11th on the season, 6th in the month of May. Freeman on base 4 times with 4 hits and a walk. Logan Allen, 5 hits allowed, did not allow a run over 6. Allen walking 1, striking out 7. Now 5-2 on the season for a victory. Allen continues what he's done so far into June and into July. AL All-Star? I'd say so. And that's just not with the win-loss record as well. Twins, all 4 of their runs in the 9th inning. Minnesota has now lost 5 in a row, scoring just 7 runs during that current stretch. Remember, they won 12 straight, 17 of 20 at one point, now going in the opposite direction. Guardians with a win on Saturday, season high 12 over 500. Byron Buxton did return to the lineup for the Twins. Let's see if that makes a difference in the coming days and weeks. Byron Buxton missing time with an injury, 1 for 4 with an RBI. And the fans treated to a victory in Cleveland on Saturday, also treated to a Jose Ramirez bobblehead doll giveaway as well. In St. Louis, Red Sox tied things up at 2 in the 8th inning against the Cardinals. Double by Rob Refsnyder. Didn't stay tied for long. Cardinals decided to push across 5 runs in the 8th inning against the Red Sox bullpen, won the game 7-2. I'll have an opportunity for a series sweep on Sunday at Busch Stadium. Cardinals, again, have won the first 2 games of the series. Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Gorman, 2 hits, 2 RBIs apiece. Gorman, home run off starter Cutter Crawford for the Red Sox in the second. That gave the Cards an early 1-0 lead. Red Sox have now lost 4 in a row. They're going in the opposite direction. 11 losses now over their last 15. 2 games under 500. Rafi Devers did homer again. He's now homered in 4 straight. The Red Sox are 0-20 on the season when trailing after 8 innings. Again, the Cardinals will have an opportunity for a series sweep in St. Louis on Sunday. Whatever funk Juan Soto was in, might be safe to say it's over. Soto, 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, helped lead the Yankees to a 6-1 win against the White Sox at the big ballpark in the Bronx on Saturday. Jose Trevino, Giancarlo Stanton also homering in the victory. All 4 home runs for the Yankees off starter Brad Keller. Soto's flash line right now, 317, 414 on base, and 561 slugging. White Sox, 2 runs or less now in 23 of their first 46 games on the season. Yankees have now hit at least 1 home run, 4 on Saturday. They've homered in 6 straight games, 14 total in that 6-game stretch. We'll see if they can extend that on Sunday. Luis Gil, terrific on the mound, 5-1 record, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, career high 14 strikeouts. So earlier in the week, tipping the cap to Clark Schmidt. That rotation right now, when Garrett Cole comes back, Garrett Cole's going into the rotation. Who's going to the bullpen? Gil deserves to stay. Schmidt, I'd certainly make a case. If I were in Aaron Boone's office, I'd make a case for Clark Schmidt stays. So then you have Cortez, you have Stroman. Who's going? Who's going? Schmidt, Gil, they stick when Garrett Cole does return. Mariners, Orioles waited a while with a rain delay in Baltimore, but they got the game in. Mariners scoring 2 runs in the 7th inning, 2 more runs in the 8th inning, 1-4-3 against the Orioles in Charm City. Cal Raleigh, RBI double in the 8th inning. That put the Mariners in front 3-2. They added 1 more in that frame. Grayson Rodriguez returning for the Orioles, and he was impressive. Gave up just an unearned run and 1 hit over 6. He walked 3, struck out 7. Julio Rodriguez got a single off Grayson Rodriguez, that in the 6th inning. And again, that was the only hit that Grayson Rodriguez allowed in his outing. Gunnar Henderson, solo home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. That made it a 1-run game, but Andres Munoz did strike out Adley Rutschman to end the game. Mariners with the win on Saturday and able to even up that series at a game apiece. Another 1-run victory for the Rays north of the border against the Blue Jays in Toronto. Final Saturday from Toronto. Rays 5, Jays 4. Rays came back down 4-0 through the first 5 innings. Tampa Bay, 12th comeback win of the season. Blue Jays got 3 in the home 5th inning. Vlad Guerrero Jr. coming through, 2-run single. That made it 4-0. Vlad Jr. 3-hit game for Toronto. Rays got to within a run with 3 2-out runs that came across in the top of the 6th inning. Took the lead for the first time, 2-run home run off the bat of Johnny DeLuca in the 8th inning. Johnny spelled Jonny, by the way, no H in there. Ahmed Rosario, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for the Rays. And here's one that I found interesting. Yandy Diaz in the leadoff spot for Tampa Bay. Reached base 5 times. 3 hits, 2 walks. Scored just once, although he reached 5 times. Angels and Rangers. Already went over it. Extra inning victory in 13 for the Rangers in Arlington on Saturday night. We've hit on this one. Told you I didn't really want to talk about the two teams any further, but I will share this. And if you've been with us, you know where I'm going. How did they fare with runners in scoring position? Not well in extra innings at all, including the game-winning walk-off hit by pitch for Nathaniel Lowe in the bottom of the 13th inning with the bases loaded. I don't know if this is the biggest exercise in futility of the season, but the Angels hitless with runners in scoring position. How many opportunities did they have? 18 in 13 innings. They had their opportunities. You want to talk about squandered opportunities? 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position. That's the new definition of squandered opportunities. Rangers 2 for 12, 23 runners left on base. I don't know why I went back to this one, but I did. We move on. Cody Clemens. I love the fact that Philly fans are absolutely in love with Bryce Harper. I do believe at some point the love affair could be very similar with Cody Clemens, especially if he continues to do what he's done at the plate, including delivering a game-tying 2-out solo home run in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Nationals on Saturday. Bryce Harper, with the game tie, did come through with a sac fly in the bottom of the 10th inning. Phillies celebrate in walk-off fashion. Came back, beat the Nationals 4-3. Phillies have now won the first 2 games of the series. They go for the series sweep on Sunday. That's going to be a theme that I'll touch on here in a few minutes. Christian Sanchez made the start for the Phillies. He was impressive, giving up 2 runs over 7. Walked no one. Love that number for a starting pitcher. Struck out 8. Kyle Finnegan gave up the home run to Clemens in the 9th. Also gave up the game-winning run in the 10th inning as well. Finnegan, blown save, loss, 1 and 2 on the season. Nationals had their opportunities, just 2 of 14 with runners in scoring position. The Nats got to a game above 500 for the first time in a long time. But now they've lost 4 in a row, 6 of 7. Kyle Schwarber, how about this in a leadoff spot? 0 for 1. And he walked 4 times. So Schwarber's on-base percentage up a couple of percentage points on Saturday. Phillies, 3rd walk-off win of the season. They're now 19 games above 500 as well. That is a new season high. Padres, Braves, waited it out. In the end, a rainout in Atlanta on Saturday. 2 teams are going to make up the postponement from Saturday with a split doubleheader when they wrap up the series on Monday in Atlanta. Padres did win game 1 of that series on Friday. Brewers, Astros, William Contreras broke a 1-1 tie. Contreras 2-out, 3-run home run. That off Justin Verlander in the top of the 5th inning. Brewers beat Verlander and the Astros 4-2 in Houston. Series even at 1-1. Lost snapping Houston 6-game win streak. 4 Milwaukee relievers combining for 6 strikeouts over 4 1/3 innings. Tigers, remember Friday night, 13 runs, 17 hits, and a 13-0 drubbing of the Diamondbacks. Tigers Saturday, 8 runs, 15 more base hits, and what turned out to be an 8-3 victory. Tigers have won the first 2 games of that series. They did not score the first 6 innings, but scored 6 runs in the 7th and 2 more in the 8th inning. Zach Gallen tossed 6 scoreless before he ran into trouble and gave up the first 3 runs in the 7th inning. Gallen did strike out 10, took the loss. Tigers 8 extra base hits. Wencel Perez, 2 triples, including a 3-run triple in that big 7th inning. He finished with 4 RBIs. Javier Baez may not want to leave Phoenix. He's having a pretty good series against Diamondbacks pitching. Baez 4 hits, including a pair of doubles. We're getting towards the end here. Rockies and Giants. Giants 10 runs on Friday, 14 runs, 18 hits, and a 14-4 victory on Saturday as well. 7 straight wins for the Rockies. Well, that win streak snapped, and now they've lost 2 in a row. Have a day, Matt Chapman, on base 5 times, 4 for 4, couple of doubles, a walk, 4 runs scored. Jorge Soler, back recently for the Giants. They need his bat in the lineup. 3 for 5 for Jorge Soler, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Luis Matos, 3 hits, career high 6 RBIs. Matos, 3-run home run in the first, RBI double in the 3rd, added a 2-run single in the 8th inning as well. Giants capping their scoring with a 6-run inning there as well. Got a little mixed up there, but they scored often late in the game. Starter Ty Block reliever Nick Mears, both giving up 6 earned runs, not combined. They both gave up 6 earned runs in their outings. And Blake Snell could return. Read a note on Blake Snell for the Giants. He could return in the next, I guess, 5 to 7, maybe 7 to 10 days. That'll be a shot in the arm if Snell can come back and pitch the way we know he's capable. In Kansas City, Seth Lugo, 10 strikeouts, gave up 2 earned runs over 5 2/3 innings. Lugo helping the Royals to a 5-3 victory against the still struggling Oakland A's. Lugo 7-1 with the win. Gave up a 2-run home run to Seth Brown that early on in the second. Ross Stripling touched up for 4 earned runs over 5. Stripling is now 1-8 on the season with his record. Kyle Isbell, 4th home run of the season for KC, and the win that came in the 7th inning. A's have dropped 7 in a row, 12 of 14. Season high 10 under 500. I'm updating those ugly numbers almost daily now. A's have allowed 41 runs and scored just 9 runs during their current 7-game losing streak. The Royals, with the win on Saturday now, season high 9 games over 500. That is a wrap on day number 52 of the Major League Baseball season. How about this number 9? Think Roger Maris. Tigers, there's 9. There's 9 teams. Ready? Yankees, Royals, Guardians, Giants, Phillies, Cardinals, Rays, Tigers, and Marlins. Those 9 teams have something in common going into Sunday. Yeah, they all have an opportunity for series sweeps. If 4 teams actually come away with sweeps on Sunday, I'll be impressed. I don't think that number's higher than 5. I don't. I think the teams down in that series will avoid sweeps on Sunday. So I'll be impressed if 3 of the 9 actually come away with sweeps on Sunday. We wrap with Sugar's Random Thoughts, presented by the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland. If you are considering a stay on the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore this spring, summer, or fall, consider a stay at the Yellow Rose of Talbot B&B in Easton, Maryland. Tell my sister Tammy, my brother-in-law Kenneth, that I sent you their way. How much of a difference is there between a big league pop-up and a mile-high pop-up? Think about that. And have you ever caught one? If Tanner Boyle charged Rick Vaughn, what would the outcome be? Think about it. And if you're not familiar with either one of those characters, then Google them and sit down, do yourself a favor in the next 48, 72 hours. If you don't know the name Tanner Boyle, if you don't know the name Rick Vaughn, Google those names and sit down and watch a couple of baseball movies over the next few days. You'll thank me later. That's a wrap on day number 52 of the Major League Baseball season. Here's a new wrinkle for us, and a tip of the cap and a thank you to Brian Holland. Who's Brian Holland? One-time Aberdeen Ironburn intern, long-time minor league baseball front office executive. That's Brian Holland. I asked a while ago, and a couple of people have come through. Thank you, David Wells. Thank you, Jen Sabatine Francis. Thank you, Brian Holland. I'm looking for 30-second home baseball movies that you can record at the ballpark. Little league, minor league, major league. Looking for 30-second videos. You can send longer, but they're my opens and they're my closes. I'm getting a little tired of Piano Man from Citi Field. I'll always love Sweet Caroline from Fenway Park. I've also got a 7th inning from Fenway Park. If you want to record 7th inning and fan reaction at a ballpark and send it to me, I'll use it as my open. But Brian Holland, one-time Aberdeen Ironbird intern, takes us out. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. We will be back after Sunday Night Baseball to recap day number 53 of the Major League Baseball season. Thank you to the Dodgers for shutting out the Reds in timely fashion on Saturday, as we were able to get underway a lot earlier. Brian, what do you have to say?
Stop talking during the anthem. Go watch Steve Lennox's new podcast, because Steve is the man.
Thanks, Brian. Again, we'll talk soon.